Hello guys and welcome to Python programming tutorials by Amul's Academy. Today in this tutorial we are discussing about how to print stars in alphabetical W shape. So let's begin with the code. So this is our output and here we can see stars in different row and column. To print stars in different row and column we are using two for loop. One is to print stars in the row and another one is to print stars in the column. Alright, so here in our code we can see the two for loops. First for loop is to print stars in the row, and here row is the variable name, for and in are the keywords, and we are using range function. And next inside that for loop we can see another for loop. It is to print stars in the column, and here call is the variable name, and here also we are using range function. And here we can see 4 rows and 7 columns. So here I need to mention the range value, that is 4, because there are 4 rows, and here 7 because there are 7 columns. Alright, so range 0 to 4, so it will give output as 0, 1, 2, 3. And here range 7, that means it will give output as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is, here we can see row is 0, 1, 2, 3 and column is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So next inside that we can see if else conditional statement. That is, we want to print stars in some particular pattern. For that we need condition. So we are using if else conditional statement. And here after if keyword we need to mention the condition, that is in which row and column you want to print star. So to print stars in alphabetical W shape, first we'll divide our output into different parts. That is, first is this part. Okay, so this is, here we can see we want to print star at column 0 and column 6. Okay, so this is my first part, and next is here we can see these 3 stars. So this is my second part, and next it is my next part. Okay, so first we'll see this part, that is we want to print star at column 0 and column 6 in each row. That is row 0, row 1, row 2, row 3. Here also same, right? So my first condition will be, I'll check whether column is equal to 0 or 6. So here we can see the logical OR operator, and in the case of logical OR operator, if any one of this condition is true then it will print star. Okay, so I mentioned logical OR here. So now we are done with the first part. Okay, so if you want to check, you can run this and see. Here we can see we are done with this first part, right? Okay. Next we want to print star here, these 2 stars. Okay, so here we can see it is present at column 4 and row 1, this star. And next is column 5 and row 2, that is this star. Here I'll directly mention their position. That is, I'll mention when column is equal to 4 and row is equal to 1, I want to print star. Or when column is equal to 5 and row is equal to 2, I want to print star. So here, or when column is equal to 5 and row is equal to 2. Okay, I want to print star. Or when column is equal to 4 and row is equal to 1. Okay, here to print these 2 stars I directly mention their position. Okay, so this is done. So if I save this, and here you can see these 2 stars, right? Okay, so now we need to print these 3 stars. Okay, so to print these stars we are using 2 variables I and j, and we are initializing row value to I and column value to j. That is, here we can see this first star is in the position column 3 and right, and this is at column 2 and row 1, and this is at, okay. So to print this star, what I'll do is I'll take 2 variables and I'll assign column value to j and row value to I. Okay, so initially I value will be 0 and j value will be 3. Okay, next I'll increment I value, so I become 1, and decrement j value, so j become 2, so it will print star here. Again I value will be incremented, so I become 2, and j value will be decremented, so j value becomes 1, so it will print star here. Okay, so I'll show you. For that we need 2 variable, it is I'll initialize 0, and j I'll initialize value 3. Okay, next here I'll take elif, that is else if. So I'll check when row is equal to I and column is equal to j, I want to print star. Okay, so this is when row is equal to 0 and column is equal to 3, I want to print star. So here when column is 3 and row is 0, we want to print star, right? So here we wrote the condition for that. I took 2 variables I and j, and I initialized the value 0 and 3, and next here we are checking whether row is equal to 0 and column is equal to 3. If it is true, then I want to print star. Alright, so if I execute this, and here we can see this star, right? This is at row 0 and column 3. Next, to print remaining star, I need to increment I value, that is row value, and decrement j value, that is column value. Here to print this star, column value is 2 and row value is 1, right? So we need to increment row value and decrement column value. So here I incremented I value and decremented j value. Okay, so first is this condition. Here we can see when column is equal to 0 or column is equal to 6, we want to print star, or when column is equal to 5 and row is equal to 2, I want to print star. Here this is logical AND operator, and here if both the condition is true, then only it will become true. So to print star, column should be 5 and row should be 2. Okay, and here we can see logical OR operator. Next condition is when column is equal to 4 and row is equal to 1, we want to print star. So if any one of this condition becomes true, then control goes to the print and it will print star. Alright, and here we can see end is equal to empty string, because after printing one star in a row, we want next space or star immediately after that. Okay, I don't want any new line there. And in the print function, by default end value will be /n, but I don't want /n here, so here I change the end value to empty string. Alright, next here else if, and here we can see next condition. Alright, so next if both this condition become false, control goes to the else part and it will print space. Here other than the stars, we want to print space also in some places, right? So for that we wrote else part. And next here we can see the print function. Inside the first for loop we are using this print function. This is because after printing stars in one row, we want to go to the next line. Okay, that is after printing stars in this row, we want to go to the next line to print remaining star. After this row, we want to go to the next line. So for this we are using this print function. Okay, this is for new line. Okay, now we are done with our code, so we need to save this code and run this. And here we can see stars in alphabetical W shape. Alright, that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. I'll meet you in next class. Till then, take care.